No, it was all of that. And it was being acutely aware that every lease we signed was a long-term fixed cost. And so we were being what I felt was very conservative about how we would proceed. And so eventually we wouldn't sign a lease unless we had an anchor tenant who was basically covering the bulk of the dollars that were wrapped up in a lease. If you can do that, you feel much better about it, and then you'll take a risk on the rest of the space. And generally, by the time we were opening these facilities, which took 12 to 14 months to build from the moment you sign a lease, we were generally opening them full. So that was sort of a sign that we probably didn't build big enough, but also it kept us profitable and it kept our gross margin high and was sort of a reassuring sign to investors that we weren't overbuilding. Nothing is worse than building a facility that's too big and having it rattled around being empty and sucking cash every month on these very expensive leases. And $120 a square foot, 10,000 square feet is expensive. So it's 120 grand a month of rent. And it's a big nut to cover. And that facility is empty for very long. It doesn't take much. It shows up in your occupancy and it shows up in your gross margin. We had a sense that we were being watched as a potential acquisition target, and that we never really could take EBITDA down to single digits in order to kind of grow. We were going to maintain profitability because we felt like this bubble could pop, and we wanted to make sure we weren't out in front of our skis. I think generally speaking, that's what a board will do, is they'll keep it. A CEO who thinks he's got a tiger by the tail and wants to pour gasoline on everything from lighting himself on fire. And my board was very good at that.